get attendance in real quick, guys, okay? You guys weren't on the internet yesterday in third block, were you? Third block. It was for Mita's class, but you had a sub. You weren't on the internet in her classroom, were you? But you couldn't get to it, yes? Yeah. We dropped the internet for about 40 minutes yesterday. Looks like the internet's playing out the same way right this moment. Because, you know, technology, it will never fail you. Like, and Kobe. No, I'll just take the computer and pop it up in there. For a quick solution. Okay, done with that. Okay. Anybody else hot in here? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So you're going to actually start on Friday, Bill of Rights review quiz. You need to be in assignments, not modules, okay? Uh-huh. This is P7. Assignments. See where it says Friday Bill of Rights review quiz redo? Click that. Let me read this part. You may not use your Bill of Rights worksheets that we've been creating this week. It is important that you know your rights as a U.S. citizen, and that is why I want you to be able to remember what each amendment says. These amendments will show back up on your LEAP test. Each question is worth 2 points, so this quiz is worth 12 points altogether. The last question is worth 2 bonus points, so you potentially score a 14 out of 12. Those are just circles. Okay, it is a quiz, so I need you guys to not talk. I will read this to you. Sorry it's so small, but it's the only way to get the whole thing to show on my screen up there, okay? It's matching. A, First Amendment. B, Second Amendment. C, Third Amendment. D, Fourth Amendment. E, Fifth Amendment. F, Sixth Amendment. It skips the Seventh. G, Eighth Amendment. Okay, don't talk. It doesn't skip Fourth. There's Fourth over here. You got First, Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, skips to Seventh, and it goes to Eighth. Number 1 says Fox and Sox is found innocent in his first trial. So the court puts him on trial again. This is not allowed according to which amendment? You're going to have to use, see the T right there? That's text box. You're going to click that and put a text box on that blank, and you're going to type in the letter of the correct answer. Understand? Everybody got it? Number 2 says Horton heard a who petitioning the government because he was mad about new taxes on restaurants but not bars. Which amendment says it is legal for all the who's in Whoville to petition and state their grievances to the government? Okay, I was giving you a little break. I know I kind of went fast at the end of number 1, right? Number 3, north-going Zax is an Army soldier and needs a place to stay while traveling through Houston. He knocks upon the door of a really nice bluefish home and tells him he will be moving right in with bluefish and redfish. This is not okay, according to which amendment? Remember, read the room.
answer for number 3?
Number 4 says the Grinch just can't take any more noise. 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 He thinks Whoville's government has become a tyranny with the mayor, the city council, and their legislature overstepping their constitution. He decides to become a one-person militia. This amendment states that he has a right to bear arms. Yes. Number 5 says Yertle the turtle is accused of taking too long to cross the road, and he is arrested. He has a right to a speedy trial, even if he is a slow turtle, and he has a right to a lawyer, according to this amendment. Number 6 says Sam I Am liked his green eggs and ham so very much. He liked them in a box and he liked them with a fox. He liked them in the rain and he liked them on a train. One day, a policeman searched his box without a warrant or probable cause. Which amendment was violated? Now, the last one actually comes from the Cat in the Hat movie, the live action one, where the Cat in the Hat gets his tail cut off when he's in the kitchen baking cupcakes, and he accidentally cuts off his own tail. You guys see that version of Cat in the Hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where this last question comes from.
But you added an ear.
Well, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but when feral cats are wild cats that live out in the open, they don't live in people's homes. When they are captured and they're taken to a vet's clinic or they're taken to the pound, to shelter, and they are fixed, made it where they can't reproduce, corner of their ear is cut off. And then they are released back in the wild. And it's so that people can look at them and know readily that they're fixed. So they're not going to be able to reproduce. That means the cat is then a working cat, because cats get rid of mice and they get rid of snakes, right? So the cat is released back in the wild to continue doing his job being reducing mice and snake populations, but it's not reproducing. So that's a good thing, right? But if that was a human, that would be disallowed, wouldn't it? Okay, so those two things are where I got number 7. Bonus question. On a very sad day, the Cat in the Hat is arrested. The court decides that, due to Cat's history of pranks, that could be me there, they will cut off his right ear, his tail, and dye his hair orange, like mine yesterday. Which amendment says this is a no-no? I was being very tongue-in-cheek because they really do cut off cats, the edge of their ear, feral cats. And Cat in the Hat did accidentally cut off his own tail in the movie. And your teachers had some weird hair colors this week.
Miss Vanver,
Yes, ma'am.
do you know if Miss Ramita is going to be there today?
Miss Ramirez is here today. Miss Daniels is gone today.
Okay.
Oh. I'm happy to say today hopefully is my last shot because these shots hurt.
And then that's like all the questions that you need. I couldn't get number
But I made them funny in the quiz.
number 4. Was
And I added number 6 last night because today's green eggs and ham day. So yeah, you're welcome. And actually green eggs are good. All that is food coloring. But green ham, I could never bring myself to eat that. That just, no. Even if I am dressed as a ham today.
I mean, I would eat it.
You know that means it's normally sour, right?
Never mind. No, thank you. I thought it was just dry.
I lost 20 pounds in 3 months, throwing up every day for 3 months.
Eating gluten now?
No, it was from my surgery. I couldn't swallow. I choked every day. All right, has everybody finished and hit submit? Okay, let's get it wrapped up, guys, okay? Bless you.
All the questions are like literally right there.
Yes, they are. One guy at the doctor's office yesterday asked me if that was my real hair color. I said, no, sorry. And the nurses behind the counter were all laughing. They said, no, she's been gracing us with her weird presence every day this week. And he goes, well, I'm from California where people wear hair like that all the time and they actually dye their hair to be that bright. And I'm like, I'm from Louisiana and we don't.
We don't do that.
I'm a teacher. He goes, you're a teacher? Yes. That would be the only reason I'm dressed like this.
Why else would you be going to a like that?
Other than to amuse my 1-year-old granddaughter. So I would not be leaving the house like this.
Did you put the fork in there or did
Yeah, it's glued in. It's glued in in the ham, and then the ham is glued on the feathers, and then I clip these other feathers behind it, and then I clip these feathers over here.
I thought it came with that, like the whole lid was like that. I was like, oh,
I made all of it. I actually made an egg shirt for Miss Ramita's and one for Miss Sparks too, but they both didn't wear them.
When you said you were gonna be a ham, I was like, is she gonna dress up in a ham costume?
Okay, everybody finished their quiz? Okay, so we're gonna go
Yes,
back
ma'am.
to assignments. Click assignments. Scroll down to Friday. And we're going to go to key people in the federal government text source. That talking over there at table 3 needs to stop. So this one's not worth points, but it's the information you need for us to be able to fill out the assignment that is worth points. Again, stop you the talking. Okay, computer, stop being weird. 3 branches of government. The Constitution calls for a separation of powers in which 3 branches of government can check and balance each other. How many branches?
3.
3. Y'all say it like it's duh, but I had one student in 3rd block say a whole bunch. I was like,
What do you mean?
Wrong answer. When I asked him yesterday how many branches of government in the national government, he goes, a whole bunch.
It's only 3.
No, 3. Those 3 branches are the executive branch. Who is the leader of the executive branch, guys? No, the president,
I knew it.
which includes the president, the legislative branch, which includes Congress, and the judicial branch, which includes the Supreme Court. The men who wrote the Constitution spread the powers of government amongst those 3 branches to keep any one branch of government from becoming too powerful. They didn't want tyranny like King George had. Each branch performs separate functions and checks the other branch's functions in different ways. The legislative branch is made up of Congress, which is the House of Representatives and the Senate. The House of Representatives have 435 representatives. So obviously, it's a whole bunch of people in one room when they all come together, right?
I guess.
Each state gets a number of representatives based on the state's population. So Rhode Island is the smallest state. Obviously, they don't have a lot of people living there because it's a teeny tiny state, right? California has a lot of people living in it, right? So out of Rhode Island and California, who would have more representatives? California, because it has a much larger population. Okay. So with the representatives, the House of Representatives, the number of representatives per state has to do with population. So let's think of our classrooms at Keithville being each a state. Okay. Your Miss Ramita's state. My homeroom is a state. Miss Moore's class is a state. Miss Daniel's room is a state.
We're Alabama.
Which state is smallest in population?
Ours. No.
Miss Moore?
Miss Moore. She only has 6 kids.
She's Rhode Island.
Which of those 4 groups is the largest state? Mine. I have 21. So if we had the same thing with the House of Representatives, which one would send the most representatives?
You.
Mine. Which one would send the fewest representatives?
More.
More. Does that make sense when I explain it that way? A lot of adults don't get that system.
At first, I thought it was ours because, like, when we line up and stuff.
No, it's mine. I've always had the biggest class. When we got our list at the beginning of the school year and we had everybody had mixed virtual and physical, I'm like, yo, I have every student here. I have no virtual. I have 21 kids on day 1. Casey Sparks is like, well, I guess that makes it easy on you. I'm like, Daniels has 5 kids. Ramitas has 6 kids. I've got 21 kids. Tell me how this is fair. All right. Each state gets a number of representatives based on the state's population. The Senate has 2 senators from each state. So does it matter how many people are in each state for the Senate House?
Nope.
Since there's 2 senators from each state, how many senators total are there in the entire country?
100.
100, because there's 50 states. Okay. It is the job of Congress to make the laws. Remember, legis means law, and legislature is made up of Congress. So Congress makes laws. Congress also decides on who and what to tax, yay, and how to use tax money. Each House of Congress meets separately. However, they can come together for joint sessions. The executive branch, and you see the legislative branch is the one with the Capitol building, the rotunda in the middle. The executive branch includes the President of the United States, the Vice President, and the Cabinet of the President, which is made up of such departments as the Labor Department, Department of Defense, State Department, Treasury Department, etc.
those cabinets, I mean, the departments, they advise the president. So they are people who are very well educated on their respective departments. And they tell the president information so the president knows how to make decisions about questions that come up. Each department has a leader appointed by the president. Together, all the leaders, along with the president, vice president, and a few other people, make up the cabinet. The job of the executive branch is to enforce the laws. The judicial branch is made up of the Supreme Court and other courts, and its job is to interpret the laws. So who makes the laws? Which branch? Legislative, very good. That was Sky Unit that said it, right? So the branch that makes the laws is legislative. The branch that enforces the laws, so the one that's most like the police, is executive. The branch that interprets the laws is judicial. In the Supreme Court, there are non-Supreme Court judges. The judges are appointed by the president. By triple checking everything, government is more likely to represent the needs of more people. The public also is part of the system of checks and balances. If citizens aren't satisfied with an official, they can choose to not re-elect him or her. You have to wait till the next election, but you just don't. Yeah, you know it.
Okay, so we're going to go, wait, ew, where are my buttons? Oh, here. Buttons. And Canvas is being wonky because it can. Apparently it doesn't like a fork in the person's head. I don't know. It's discriminating against fork-headed people. And now Canvas is not moving. Having another rego of this, huh? Okay, so what we're looking for now is this page says key people in the federal government. So for my friends that are virtual and don't have the paper packet, they're going to need to fill in this page online. But Megan has it, come on, shrink. Megan has it physically on paper. And my friends in class have it physically on paper. So what I need is key people or groups that are in the legislative branch, key people or groups that are in the executive branch, and key people or groups that are in the judicial branch. Then I need the job or jobs of the legislative branch, executive branch, and judicial branch. Shouldn't take you very long. Do it here. If you want to do it on Cami, if you prefer to do it on Cami, knock yourself out. I am fine with you doing it on Cami or on paper, your choice. Okay? You have it in your paper packet. But if you prefer to do it on Cami, go ahead. It's only going to take me a couple minutes to grade each person's paper. Okay. One or two. This page is worth 6 points. Okay. Your Bill of Rights quiz was worth 12. This paper is worth 6 points. And then the Civil War that we're going to do today is going to be worth 6 points. Yes, we are trying to move through this content so we will get as much covered as possible before the LEAP test. For this? Well, we've not covered nearly enough stuff for the LEAP.
What do we do the LEAP test?
English and math is April 28th through 30th is ELA and math, and science and social studies is May 3rd and 4th.
How long That makes me think that school's almost over.
Okay, stop talking. Bless you.
Is that mean it's coming?
Logan, it doesn't show that you submitted your quiz,
You know what?
your quiz, your Bill of Rights quiz.
But two were in another thing.
Yeah, it's showing you didn't send it in. You're the only one in here who did not submit it.
I just did.
Done.
Okay. We still have one more lesson after this, so don't go anywhere, okay?
Okay.
I misspoke on this. The 3 branches of government is worth 9 points. Bless you. Melanie made a 9 out of 9. She's the only one upgraded so far. Everybody else is still working on it. Megan, did you hit submit in the key people in federal government or did you handwrite it?
I submitted it on Cami.
It's not showing up. Let me see if it showed up.
Okay.
Okay, I see where it showed up. You heard me? There's 2 different
Yes, ma'am.
places it can show up. I found it. Here you go, Logan. Haley, you made a 9. Haley, you made a 9 on 9. You guys, how you doing? 9 on 9. Very thorough, Megan. Good job.
You're welcome.
Don't lean in that chair, Joanna. Particularly fond of my students not getting hurt. It wasn't a hard assignment at all, was it?
No, that was easy. I got 9 on 9.
So far, everybody has. Bryson, 9.
I used that paper and I'm good.
Haley, 8. Executive pardons people, not judicial. I'm still waiting on assignments from Innocente, Hunter, Maya, Joanna, Aaliyah, Ricardo, and Kimber. Leah. Kimber. Carter. Abby worked from Joanna, Maya, Hunter, Innocente. What is it? Where's the 5 Okay, Hunter, Maya, Joanna, are you done yet? Maya, how much more do you have to go? What? Been going on this for a while. What about Hunter?
Uh, 10 more boxes.
What?
2 more.
10 more.
No, I said 2.
All right, it is 9:11. I'm going to give you till 9:15. That means 4 more minutes.
What happens at 9:15?
Then we're going to go to the third part of the lesson, which is the Civil War. Okay,
Oh,
Listen to short.
what is it?
They listen for short.
Yes.
I like that.
Eight out of 12, Logan, on your quiz. It was 3. All right, that talking needs to stop. Fabulous, Diana, 14 out of 12. That brings you up to a 97A in my social studies class. Not too shabby. Cynthia, you also got an 8 out of 12 on your quiz. You want? Yep. Do it. You feel comfortable. You do it. What are you doing? All right, Hunter and Maya, you got 10 seconds. All right, submit them. Good job, Maya. Just a couple more minutes so I can try to grade Joanne's real quick, okay? I'm sorry, I don't see yours showing up yet. You gonna take another 0? Yep, showing them, I'm grading it right now. You got a 9. All right, so I've graded quizzes. Logan, 8 out of 12. Skyuna, 14 out of 12. Innocente, 8 out of 12. I haven't had time to grade the others. I'll grade them during enrichment when most of my homeroom group is coming back to me to do their CAMI because they didn't do it last night. Okay, so next assignment. Why have the next and previous buttons disappeared? What did Canvas decide those are too helpful, so they have to get rid of them? All right, so click on Friday Civil War text source, okay? I've got to text Miss Fitzgerald right quick. Hello. Here's this. He didn't do his CAMI yesterday. If you would like him to come to my class during enrichment. Oh, I got it for enrichment, but they don't have their devices. Okay. I could send him here. Okay. I'm having, see that list on my board? That's all my kids in homeroom who didn't do their CAMI last night. So they're all coming to me during enrichment to do their work. Because they tried to work on it, but it was getting towards the end of class yesterday. Oh, my kids in my homeroom just didn't feel like doing the work last night. So, and then some said they were gonna try to get on their stuff last night if they could, and so whatever they didn't, when they was to do, I told them that we can do it during enrichment, because I'm gonna keep them, they're gonna come down to the house. And literally it'll take them just 5 minutes. It's a very fast assignment. But then they'll, but I'm gonna keep him because Jessica's dad wants to talk to him. He's been doing a better job. He's doing all I can to keep his motivation up. And so he's working better. When I ask him what a word is and I can't understand it, he goes back and corrects it. And I point it out again, ask what it is again. He goes back and recorrects it. If he knows I can't read it, he can't read it. Guys, quiet. I've got one dog with so irritated with our excuses. You know what I'm talking about. Mhm. Yesterday, he was screaming, hollering, excuses. What? I'll put a note in Joe.
And he said, well, I never knew what's going on if you don't respond to me, if you don't tell me what's going on. The note was put in dojo immediately. I prayed about it and said, child-based responsibility. Oh, yeah.
Why are we the only ones responsible?
Because we're ultimately the ones that is all accountable. Nobody else.
Correct. Okay.
The Civil War. Between the years of 1861 and 1865, another major war broke out in the United States. While the Revolutionary War created the United States, the Civil War would determine what type of nation it would be. The Civil War was a war fought between northern and southern states. The reason they were fighting was over slavery. Now let me pause right here. The reason we're doing not even a full day, part of a day lesson on Civil War, is so that you understand one of the factors that makes civil rights movement so incredibly important. What is it, Hunter, that you're interrupting my lesson? What are you doing, Michaela?
She was on the map.
She was on what?
The map.
I am getting my lesson interrupted. We lost 2 weeks of school due to weather. I need to keep teaching. Get where you're supposed to be, or I will take your computer. Do you understand me? All right. Again, we're spending mere minutes learning about the Civil War just so that we have a background to know why the Civil Rights Movement was so important, and to know where our country and where our people have been in the past, to understand how much they had to fight for and to overcome. Okay, we're not going through battles of Civil War or anything like that. What we're needing to know is the bigger picture of what needed to be overcome, what needed to be fixed, what needed to be changed. Okay, that's why we're doing this little bitty thing with Civil War. We're answering 3 questions at the end of this. Okay, that's all we're doing, Civil War. Got it?
Okay.
What was being fought over was slavery. That was the big ideological sticking point, so to speak. The difference between the North and South. There was some slavery in the North, but not so much. There was definitely racism in the North. There was some slavery in the North. There was lots of slavery in the South. And definitely lots of racism in the South. The Southern states believed that they had the right to have slaves. Enslaved people in the Southern states were used as farm laborers and formed the backbone of the Southern economy. In the Northern states where industry, remember industry is factories and making products, where industry drove the economy, many people believed that slavery was immoral and wrong. Many Northern states believed that slavery should be abolished. In other words, gone, gotten rid of, completely, never to be seen again. And that the federal government, remember federal means national, should impose laws to make slavery come to its end. Eventually, Southerners became convinced that the federal government would attempt to abolish slavery nationwide. And Southerners thought the national government would make them get rid of slavery across the whole country. 11 Southern states left the United States and formed a new country known as the Confederate States of America. Why would the Southerners not want slavery to go away? How did Southern states make their money? From slaves, because there was a lot of farming, right?
So they
And who was doing the bulk of the farming? Enslaved people. So literally the blood, sweat, and tears of enslaved people was bringing in the money. It was literally their blood, sweat, and tears.
So if those slaves left, they would not do it.
Right. Correct. The northern states, the Union states, thought that the southern states were wrong to leave the Union and initiated a war that raged across the country for 4 years. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected president. Abraham Lincoln believed that slavery should be abolished in the United States. He also refused to recognize the southern states as an independent nation. On January 1st, 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. To emancipate means to make free. Proclamation just means a statement saying something. So it was a statement saying enslaved people are free. That's what those two big words mean. Which Lincoln states that all slaves in the southern states should be free. Notice that date, 1863. That was during
The Civil War. The Civil War would continue on for another 2 years.
While the war was raging on, a statement by a president that freed slaves did not make it law. So the president saying that all slaves should be freed immediately did not make it law.
So they just kept it.
They just kept people enslaved. It was kind of like the Declaration of Independence. It was a statement, a lofty goal, but it did not make it so. Lincoln had proposed, I have problems with speech. Sometimes you can tell I had speech therapy when I was a kid. Lincoln had proposed an amendment to the Constitution that would end slavery. By 1865, the Union had defeated the Confederate States. In other words, 1865, the Civil War ended, the northern states won, which means the whole country came together, but were the southern states happy about it?
Nope.
No. A vote was passed in Congress that created the 13th Amendment that freed all slaves across the United States. If you notice on my poster, I have the first 10 amendments, it's the Bill of Rights. And the next one I have is the 13th Amendment. There are, I think, 24 amendments currently. There are certain ones that stand out more important than others. The 13th will be on your LEAP test. It ended slavery. Okay, that's a big, big deal. Okay, I would call that a lucky 13, right?
All of that one was 30.
13th Amendment ended slavery, and it was signed at the end of the Civil War. Okay.
Got to go back to assignments because again, wherever that next and previous button went, Canvas needs to get back on it and make it reappear. Okay, so here is the worksheet. If you go in your paper packet and do it in your paper packet, it's in there. Okay, the picture didn't come out great, and Cami, you can see it in color. And if you notice on both of these pages, the background is red, that's to represent blood. And this picture, these two men fighting, it doesn't say it, but often in the Civil War, families were divided by the Civil War. Some brothers would go to the Union side and other brothers would go to the Confederate side. Same thing with friends. Some friends would go to one side and other friends would go to the
And
other.
sisters.
Right. Women would serve in serving food. A lot of women would serve in helping at the campgrounds and healthcare, because they needed all the help they could get with healthcare, because there were so many injuries and they were catastrophic.
I thought one of the sides more bad than the
What? What, Logan?
I thought one of the sides more bad than the
No. Okay. So you can answer this in Cami, or you can answer it on paper. You have 3 questions. What was the Civil War? Why were they fighting? And what was the outcome of the Civil War? Okay. This is the only day that we're going to be addressing the Civil War. All right. Monday, we start with civil rights. Okay. Had we not had the 2-week break, we would have been doing civil rights all through February, which is when I like to teach it. Black History Month is a perfect time to teach civil rights. Outcome is it ending? What came from the Civil War? What was the ending of the Civil War? Yes, it's very easy. Yeah. Tell you down here in the South, civil rights still have a long way to go. My son, when he and Mia were first dating, and when they were newly married, Adrian felt so uncomfortable because so many people would stare at him because he's so light skinned, and to me is light skinned too. And he said people would stare at him and make comments. And Adrian, at heart, is like me. He's shy. And he said he gets so embarrassed because people would stare. And I'm like, why? Because your wife is gorgeous? Maybe that's why, because Tamia is beautiful. And he's like, Tamia is shy. She does not like it when people stare. And they're staring because we're a mixed couple. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Ignore them. Keep walking. Civil rights still have a long way to go. Very long way. This is 2021. And people would make comments to Craig and I because we take Mila with us everywhere. And they've made comments to us about having a biracial baby with us. I'm like, get over yourself. She's a baby. Hmm? What is it?
They were being raised.
People are being racist. We have Mila with us at Target. Craig and I and Ian. Ian's real pale too. And Mila was 3 months old, and this lady made really nasty comments to us about having a biracial baby. I'm like, I looked at her and I wanted to say something so nasty. And my husband said, just keep walking, Hannah, keep walking. And I'm like, how can someone be so nasty to us? She's a baby. She's her granddaughter, but she's a baby. Get over yourself.
Oh yeah, a lot of people.
Yes, yes, indeed. Emancipation Proclamation, the statement that you made.
No, did he make a rule?
The law.
Yeah, a law about slavery in the world.
He made the Emancipation Proclamation during the wars, 2 years before the Civil War ended. He was very upset that slavery caused the Civil War, and he was very upset that he knew many men were going to die, and boys. Boys went off to fight in the Civil War too. Teenagers, teenage boys went to fight in the Civil War also.
And he was very upset knowing that so much of his country was going to be harmed in the war. But he knew it was for something that needed to go away. Slavery needed to go away.
She just gave a little 9-year-old a pistol.
And unfortunately, the 13th Amendment, while it became illegal to enslave people, racism proliferated far after the 13th Amendment.
How did Lincoln pass away?
He was shot, died a couple days later. Ford Theater, John Wilkes Booth.
Oh.
All right, guys, you have 7 minutes to go. No, it was soon after this was born, the death. He was shot and killed. Part of why he died was illness, marketing.
He would have died either way.
He would have died from marketing, yeah, eventually, but not right then.
He would have passed away of old age, too.
No, he would have died from heart issues from marketing.
Oh, yeah, now I'm seeing.
That's from marketing. There's Colby doesn't have marketing. The DNA test came back. And Colby does not have marketing. What he has, they don't have a name for it, so rare.
Oh, really? My grandpa gets money from having what? My
Did you do your health paper or something?
grandpa.
You did?
This is it.
Okay. Outcome is what happened at the end of the Civil War.
I didn't think I would get that into. I thought
I'm submitting it.
Okay, thank you. When you finish, if you did it paper-based, bring your little booklet back here. You've got 5 minutes, my friend.
more.
Aaliyah. Aaliyah. Pardo. Excellent answer, Robin. Best answer I've seen so far. Hunter. Kimber, Melanie. How'd you do yesterday?
I had a few.
Is that good?
My mom said they said it's not shiny, but it's very rare to shine. So,
I joined in Richmond. You stay here. Stay at your desk. Because I'm gonna have tell people on the front porch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 17 people. coming here. So you go let Mr. Thomas know. All right, guys, if I haven't graded yours and you're doing it, Candy, keep going. I've got to go with. All right, guys, let's line up. Melanie doesn't need to do this, but my other friends, if you could put your paper inside your Chromebook and close your Chromebook. I've got 17 people coming in here. Which means I'm gonna have to clean up some of your desk, Lysol wipes and such. So if you can put your stuff in your desk, it'd be great. I'm gonna clean your desk.
I got my stuff in.
So if your desk is turned around backwards, I'm not gonna do it. Close your Chromebook and it's okay, don't do that. Close it.
But then we have to open up. Then we have to sign in and do everything that happens. And
Leave
probably
yours
don't
open,
say
you can't put it in the desk anyway.
Okay.
All right, load it. Go in the desk. You got it, all of it. This is a pretty cool. That's a lot. Yeah, that one. 5 minutes of work. Yeah, I got all.
That's 17. Plus you want to eat your hair?
I've had this food for probably 5 years.
Bye.
All right, stop you the talking. Guys, foolish. Thursday. I'll come back up. In line, in line. Yeah, let's go. What do you got?
Michaela. Don't want her.
Don't sit at a desk yet. I gotta wipe them off. There it goes. Sorry, 3 spots. There's 1 spot here. Three spots back here. Spots there. More spots there. Everybody. Most of you are here to do the candy done last night. That's not going to take you a few minutes to do. Yep. Canvas, social studies. You want to reread? Okay, so you just have to do the comment, or did you do the or comment? Let me get her started on what she missed yesterday, then I'll go. Did you do your candidate?
I only have 3 left. I mean, I did all 3 top ones. I mean,
Yeah, that.
did you do those? When I went to next yesterday, there's a sheet that had.
Friday. You need to do the candidate comments on Thursday. Yes, Ethan. Nope. I need the talking to stop. I'm going to tell you like I told you yesterday. It's marked Thursday, March 4th. Checks and balances. Worksheet number 2. That's what you're looking for. I showed you guys that yesterday. Let me do my classes. Like that, and I'll write this from
What is this on?
on the board. You can't see it. This is the 3 things. Your resident Ham. Here we go. Now you can really tell.